G'day ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Bitcoin video. Today we're also going to be discussing USDC and the fact that USDC is depegging or attempting to depeg. I guess you could say it's in a slight depeg at the moment from the US dollar, which is obviously not what we want to see because stablecoins obviously make up a majority of the cryptocurrency market. I mean, you've seen in recent history. I mean, all you need to do is look up, Bitcoin dominance minus stablecoins or Bitcoin dominance with stablecoins. In fact, I'll bring something up right now. As you can see, we've got a chart that shows the strength of stablecoins in terms of stablecoin market cap. And you can see that ever since 2020, really, they've been skyrocketing. And this kind of represents the fact that, most people who are in cryptocurrency, of course, they're using stablecoins to buy, crypto. For example, on the Bitget exchange, on Binance, on Coinbase, we're all, exchanging our actual currency, our government currency, into stablecoins and using those stablecoins to buy Bitcoin, to buy Ethereum, to buy altcoins. And so, of course, if a stablecoin depegs, it's very bad because that's a lot of people are holding their money in those stablecoins in order to buy and sell cryptocurrency. So very, very bad to see stablecoins depeg. You don't want any sort of instability in stablecoins at all. But unfortunately, what we're seeing right now with USDC, as a result of multiple fundamental events, including, a bank going under, a major cryptocurrency bank, which we'll look into in a second. We've got Silicon Valley Bank, SVB, having some FUD in relation to that, in relation to them not having the funds available to meet all the withdrawal requests from USDC. There's heaps of FUD going on there, and so that's why that's one of the reasons we're seeing USDC go down so dramatically in valuation. Now, obviously, stablecoins are meant to hold, the intention of them is to hold $1 value to the US dollar, and so, we've seen deviations in the past, okay? It's not uncommon to see slight deviations, but not deviations this big. In fact, I think at its worst, we had a deviation of in excess of 10%. We went all the way down on USDC, down to 88 cents to the dollar, which is very, very bad. It's a 12% deviation. It's not what you want to see in the slightest. Again, obviously we've seen deviations in the past. For example, USDT did have a deviation, notably in May last year. It also had one, I think, probably a little bit closer to the current dates than that. It's not uncommon. It happens a few times a year we see deviations, and most of the time they do get resolved. And I'm not going to go ahead and predict anything in regards to this, but I would say to you guys quite clearly now that, it's a big deviation, but I think that acting like you know exactly what's going to happen in this kind of scenario is not relevant because we don't know what's going to happen. We can read articles though. I've got an article here, and basically I'm going to leave the link to this article in the pinned comment description, mainly the description actually, and it's basically going over the fact that even if the worst case scenario happens, even if everything goes terribly wrong, the lowest the USDC coin can go is actually 77 cents to the dollar, and you can read all about this in the article here. So the chances of it going to zero or anything like that is not going to happen. So it wouldn't be this catastrophic collapse that's going to lead to the downfall of cryptocurrency as we know it. Even in the worst case scenario, it will go down to 77 cents to the dollar, which is terrible, obviously, but we've already seen it go down to 89 cents. And even during the drop to 89 cents, Bitcoin didn't go down very far. So, let's not act like it's going to be a huge catastrophic event. It's going to drag Bitcoin below 10K. Yeah, it's going to cause some FUD. Yeah, it's going to cause some uncertainty in stablecoins in general. But, stablecoins, although they're a massive part of the market, we have to remember they've only become big in the last 2 or 3 years. Bitcoin reached 20K in 2017 without stablecoins. We didn't have stablecoins back in the day. We had we had Tether. That was it. We still reached that level. So stablecoins are important, but they're not, they're not actually, vital for the health of cryptocurrency. Now, I'm just saying this because it's worth noting. I think a lot of people might have the idea, and it's just because people only come to crypto very recently in the last 2 years, that stablecoins have to exist in order for crypto to exist. Not necessarily. They're just a convenience. And obviously, they're a massive convenience. We can see the fact that they're a massive convenience by the fact that they've grown so much in popularity in the last bull market, but they're not actually a necessity, right, per se. So that's interesting to note. Obviously during the downfall here or the collapse, we've seen the slight collapse of USDC. We've also seen Tether go up in valuation. That's because a lot of people are selling their USDC for Tether. And so that's not to be concerned about. That's a pretty obvious explanation there. But I will be keeping an eye on it closely, obviously, the situation. But again, I really want to refer back to that main point that I made. We've seen slight depegs in the past. I'm not going to act like I know exactly what's going to happen here. I don't think anyone should be acting exactly what they know what's going to happen here. But I do want people to remember that we've seen this in the past. And let's not act like we're all geniuses with what's going on with stablecoins. It's a very complicated subject. A lot of the information that we probably need to make relevant predictions on the topic isn't actually released to the public, such as whether, SVB has the bloody, funds available to meet those withdrawal requests. We don't know that information. It's completely in the dark there. We have no information on whether they have those funds available. So we can't make any predictions about USDC at all. So I want people to just stay back from the FUD. It's generally speaking 9 times out of 10. Again, I'm not speaking for the specific scenario. I'm looking at history in general. 9 times out of 10, the FUD we see around stablecoins, it never results in anything major in the long term. Again, not saying anything about the specific scenario, but let's not act like this is a unique circumstance here. It's really not. We've seen it happen before. So with that said, we can move into the next part of the video. I've spent a lot of time covering that. But really not much to talk about in terms of TA other than what we talked about yesterday. Bitcoin's on major support. It's on major support from the bull market support band specifically. The weekly chart really demonstrates that quite nicely. We've got 8 hours until the weekly candle close, maybe 7 hours by the time the video gets out. We've bounced quite strongly off the bull market support band. We've bounced quite strongly off this pink descending wedge formation that's been forming for 2 years. Bitcoin overall, in my opinion, is not in a bad position at all. I think that this correction is healthy so far. Volume has been ascending during this drop, so the move has been strengthening, but as you can see in the last 2 days here, it's actually been descending strongly. And that means that the bears aren't increasing the magnitude of their selling as the price reaches this level, which is lining up perfectly with what I said the other day, right? I said this is a major support zone, and generally speaking, people don't sell into major support zones. We're seeing that play out in the volume chart there. So I think personally, and this is what I discussed yesterday as well, I personally think that it's relatively likely that Bitcoin actually bounces off the support zone at 19.5 to 20K. I think that the candles we've been seeing recently, as you can see, the long doji candles with small candle bodies, long wicks to the upside of a downside, are indicative of the fact that that bounce will most likely be happening. We've got Bollinger Bands telling us we're oversold. We've got massive support coming from the bull market support band, and we've got a resistance support flip clearly on the weekly chart here. I think that Bitcoin is likely to have found a short-term bottom in this region around 19.5 to 20K. Perhaps we go down a little bit further. I spoke about this yesterday as well. The worst case scenario is we drop down further and we come down and retest this yellow uptrending line, which is a 10-year support line stemming from 2013. That's the absolute worst case scenario. And if we drop below that, well, then we're pretty much screwed in the 4-year cycle as we know it will be partially invalidated. But at this point in time, I think there is significant evidence to suggest that this will be the short-term bottom. Even on the 4-hourly chart, we're seeing the RSI break to the upside here. Let's go ahead and show you. We've got the RSI here on the 4-hourly chart. And we've got a strong downtrending yellow line as resistance, and we've just kind of peaked over that in the last 4 hours here, which could be leading to a bounce off this zone here, and perhaps we come and retest 21.6K from a downside. Again, I'll say it one more time, and then I'll end the video because there's not much else to say other than that. I don't think that it is likely that Bitcoin forms new lows. I think that the bottom is in at 15.4K. That's my personal opinion. And I think that, if we are going to see that theory be validated, if we are going to see the bottom in at 15.4K, which is not fully confirmed yet in the charts, is my personal opinion, I think that it would be extremely healthy if we held this zone from 19.5K upwards. And as I said before, we start to drop down low, we start to drop down below this yellow uptrending line. That's when we get into danger zone. At this point in time, this correction is completely healthy. There's nothing really to be worrying about. And that's from a non-biased perspective. I can sit here all day and tell you guys that I think the bottom is in, da-da-da-da-da, but the point is you shouldn't be trusting me, my word for it. What you should be trusting is the charts. At this point in time, the charts have not said that this correction has been unhealthy yet. This is a healthy correction. It's a healthy retest of support. If we start going lower, that's when it becomes worrying. At this point in time, it's completely normal, completely healthy. So with that said, guys, thank you for watching the video. I want to check out a few things before we end it though. So firstly, the BitGet exchange. It's an exchange with 5 times lower fees than Binance, some of the cheapest fees in the cryptocurrency market. If you sign up using my personal referral link, which you can find in the description below, you'll get a 15% trading fee discount for life on the exchange. This is the exchange you should be using if you're trading cryptocurrency regularly, and this is the exchange you can use with my referral link to support the Wolves of Crypto channel in the best way possible. Other than that, if you want to sign up to the Crypto Academy course, the Become a Trader 10-unit course, you can do so, and you can learn how to trade, learn how to chart, learn how to find trades, learn when to enter, when to sell, learn market patterns, indicators, etc. That's the place to do it. University-style course developed by myself and Mega Crypto, who's an analyst in the space that I work quite closely with. So go ahead and do that if you're interested in learning how to trade, taking your trading to the next level. And finally, if you're interested in joining the VIP group, the Telegram VIP group of Wolves of Crypto, we have a Telegram VIP group and we trade altcoins sub-daily in there. It's 100 USD for 3 months of access, which is about $1 a day, or a little bit less than $1 a day. Sorry, a little bit more than $1 a day, just over $1 a day. And you can go ahead and do that. We've got the results released for Q4. You can check out the results to get an indication of how well we do in that group, how much profit we pull per month, per quarter, etc. And the next batch of results will be coming out in just about 2 or 3 weeks. So thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.